When I first met Ethan, I didn't think much of him. Not because he wasn't attractive. He was, in a quiet, understated way. But because he wasn't flashy. He wasn't the loudest guy in the room, the one making grand gestures or dominating conversations. Instead, he had this calm presence. He'd listen, really listen, when someone was talking. And when he laughed, it was genuine. Not the forced, performative kind people used to be liked. He was steady in a way I didn't know I needed. Back then, I was used to whirlwind relationships. Dramatic highs, crashing lows, passionate makeups. I thought love had to be chaotic to be real. But Ethan was different. Stable. Reliable. The kind of man who remembered my coffee order, noticed when I changed my shampoo, and asked about the book I mentioned in passing 2 weeks ago. And in the beginning, I cherished that. I felt safe. But somewhere along the way, that safety turned into something else. A dangerous sort of certainty. I started to believe that no matter what I did, no matter how sharp my words or careless my actions, Ethan would always be there. He was my rock, and I began to treat him like one. Immovable. Unshakable. Unbreakable. We'd been together nearly 4 years when things started to unravel. Ethan had just gotten home late one Friday night. I was curled up on the couch in leggings and an oversized sweater, half watching some reality show while scrolling on my phone. The door clicked open, and he walked in, his tie loosened, hair a little messy from the wind. He was grinning. Really grinning, the way he did when he had good news. "I got the lead on the Thompson account," he said, his voice practically buzzing. "It's huge for my career." I should have jumped up, hugged him, celebrated with him. But instead, I barely looked up. "So that means even more late nights for me to deal with?" I said flatly. I saw his smile falter, just slightly. Most people wouldn't have noticed, but I did. "It won't be forever," he said gently. "Just for the next few weeks." I shrugged. "Not everything in life has to be about your job, Ethan." The light in his eyes dimmed. He didn't argue. He just nodded slowly and went to change. And in that moment, I felt ridiculously that I'd won something. I didn't know what, but I'd asserted myself. Looking back now, I see how small and petty it was. The next morning, he tried to make peace. "My coworker has a cabin up north," he said while making coffee. "He offered to let me use it this weekend. Do you want to come?" "No Wi-Fi, just quiet." "It'll be nice to unplug." I snorted. "No Wi-Fi? What am I supposed to do, stare at trees for 2 days?" His smile didn't reach his eyes. "It might be nice. If you want to go, go. I'll find something else to do." So he went. And I spent the weekend with my friends, brunching, shopping, posting pictures of cocktails and charcuterie boards. I didn't even text him to see how it was going. When he came back Sunday night, I asked casually, "How was it?" He smiled faintly. "Peaceful." At the time, I thought nothing of it. Now, I realize peaceful meant peaceful because you weren't there. A week later came his cousin's engagement party. I didn't want to go. Dressing up and mingling with people I barely knew wasn't my idea of fun. But I went because it mattered to him. The night started fine. But then he introduced me to a group of his old college friends, and it took him, maybe 30 seconds too long to actually say my name. Something in me snapped. I accused him, right there in front of everyone, of ignoring me. My voice was sharp, my expression annoyed. He apologized, but his shoulders slumped in a way I'd never seen before. Like the weight of trying to keep me happy had finally gotten heavy. 2 nights later, we were supposed to have dinner at our favorite little Italian place. He'd made the reservation days in advance. But that afternoon, my coworker invited me to a birthday dinner, and without a second thought, I texted him. "Hey, I can't make dinner tonight. Going to Julia's birthday instead. You understand, right? We can do another night." He replied within a minute. "Yeah. I understand." It was short. Too short. But I didn't notice. The next morning, I woke up and reached for him. The bed was cold. At first, I thought he'd gone for a run. But when I opened the closet, half of it was empty. His shirts, his shoes, his favorite navy hoodie. Gone. The framed photo of us from our first trip together was gone from the dresser. His toothbrush was missing. His cologne, the one that always lingered in the air after he left for work, was gone too. No note. No text. I called. Straight to voicemail. I texted. Once. Twice. 10 times. Apologies, please to talk. Days passed. Nothing. A week later, I got a message. Just one. "I can't do this anymore. Please respect my decision." That was it. No last fight. No long explanation. No maybe someday. Just a clean break. And that's when it hit me. This wasn't some bluff. This wasn't one of our cycles where he'd leave for a night, then come back after I promised to do better. This was the end. It's been 8 months now. I've heard through mutual friends that he's in another city. New job. New apartment. People say he looks happier. Lighter. And I believe them. Because when I think back to those last few months, I see now how tired he was. Not physically. Emotionally. Tired of feeling like he was always one wrong word away from being criticized. Tired of putting in the effort only to be met with indifference. The truth is, he did give me chances. So many. And I wasted them. Now, when I see couples walking hand in hand, when I hear a man laughing at something his partner said, I think of Ethan. I think of the nights I brushed off his stories, the weekends I chose friends over him, the way I treated his kindness like it was owed to me. I thought love could survive anything. But the truth is, it can't survive neglect. It can't survive constant little cuts. Even the most patient heart eventually stops waiting. And when it does, it doesn't leave with a bang. It leaves quietly. Sometimes, without even saying goodbye. But the truth is, maybe he'd given me all the chances I was ever going to get. And I wasted them, one by one, until there was nothing left to forgive.